everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ada and I'm a YouTuber based in Chicago. If this is your first time on this channel, you're welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. So guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make Afangsoup. Afangsoup is a vegetable soup that originates from the Efik people of Efik Kingdom in Cross River State and the Ibibio people of Akwa Ibom in southern Nigeria. It is a dish popularly known by Nigerians and also some parts of Africans, and it is a very delicious meal. And my grandma is Calabar, so we used to make this a lot in my house. So it's a soup that we all enjoy, and it is so good. It tastes so good. So the thing about this soup is whenever I want to make it, I make it in a large portion because a lot of work goes into making this soup and it is so expensive to make. So I love to make it in a large batch and just portion it into like a small containers and put it in the fridge. And the thing about this soup is the older it gets, the more delicious it becomes. So this is just me seasoning my meat. I have goat meat and stock fish in my pot right now. I just put in some beef seasoning cube, salt and onion for it to boil. I let the meat boil in its own juice first of all. You can see the meat produces its own water. I'm going to add some extra water so it can cook properly. I love to do this method because it makes the meat more flavorful. I let it cook in its own juice first of all before I add some additional water for it to cook properly. So the first thing I do is I let the goat meat and the stock fish cook together for it to get almost cook, like a little bit soft, like not all the way soft, because the stock fish and the goat meat tends to take longer to cook. So I'm just going to cover this and allow that to cook. So this is me showing you guys the Afang leaf. So these are frozen Afang leaf. I usually get it from the African store. In Nigeria you buy it fresh and you pound it yourself, but here we're lucky to get the frozen one, which comes out fresh. It looks fresh. You can see it from the video. It still looks green. So this is just me checking on my goat's meat. I'm just going to stir it, and I'm introducing the beef tripe, which is also known as shaki. I cook my meat in stages. The goat's meat and stockfish takes longer to cook, and now I'm putting in the shaki because the shaki doesn't take so long to get cooked. So I don't want the meat to get so soft. So doing it this way, your meat tends to be there's still a little bit of crunch in it. It's not going to be like soggy and soft. So this is how I love to cook my meat. So now I'm going to show you the ingredients I'm going to be using for this soup. The Afang leaf, the frozen spinach, dried fish, scotch bonnet, crayfish and periwinkle. Your soup is not complete without the periwinkle. So guys, I'm going to blend my scotch bonnet in the blender. So typically all the things you're supposed to pound, I'm going to use a blender because it works fine for my soup. So instead of pounding, I'm just going to blend it and it's going to be perfect. Trust me guys, I've been doing this and it always comes out so good anytime I make it. So the first step is to blend your crayfish and your scotch bonnet, and you put that in the boiling meat. Just add it into the meat, let it boil. The scotch bonnet and the crayfish goes in first, and I'm gonna stir that and cover it to continue cooking. So now guys, I'm just showing you how I make the afang. So typically in our house we will pound this leaf, like you will pound it, and it's not small pounding, you will pound it until it's smooth. But when I got here, I realized I could use my blender. And my blender, you could typically blend it even without water. So what I do is I put a little bit of water so I can get the consistency I want. So when I finish blending one batch, I sieve out the water, and that is the same water I use to blend everything. So there is not too much water in my leaf, and it comes out so good. You can see the consistency. It is smooth, and I didn't even put a lot of water in it. So after blending one section, you can see me sieving out the water. I'll use that same water to blend another one until I'm done blending the whole afang leaf. That way your afang still has the taste you want it to have, and it's not too watery. Yes guys, so I'm gonna check on my soup now. You can see, if you notice in this pot, there's not so much water in it. You have to be very conscious of the water you are add. If you put too much water, your soup is going to be too watery, and in vegetable soup you don't need too much water because the leaves produce water. So I just introduced my dried fish. This soup is very rich. Growing up in Nigeria, my mom would tell you Afangsoup na big man soup. Everything has to be complete. You know, there has to be goat meat, stockfish, dry fish, pomo, you know, it has to be rich. You know, it's a soup you make once in a while because it's expensive and it's a lot of process, a lot of work goes into this soup. That's why whenever I'm making it, I make it in a large batch and I portion it into smaller containers and leave it in the fridge because a lot of work goes into it. So, and of course I'm cooking for my family. I love to make it rich, you know, you eat good. So now I'm introducing the Afang leaf. I'm just pouring in the Afang leaf, and you can see I put the water. At this point, you don't stir the soup. You allow the Afang leaf to boil for a little bit before stirring it. If you stir the soup at this point, it's going to have this bitter taste. So usually this is how we do it in our house. After pounding it, you just introduce it to the meat and let it boil for like 5-10 minutes. You're going to see me cover the pot now and let it boil. If you turn it at this point, like if you stir the pot at this point, it's going to have like a bitter taste. I don't know why that is so, but growing up, that's how I saw my mom do it, and I've been doing it that way myself. So the leaves on its own are going to produce the water you need for this soup. You really don't have to add so much water into your vegetable soup. So you have to be really conscious of the amount of water you add to your soup. So I just rinsed the blender to get the whole excess leaf on the blender and let that cook together a little bit. So I'm going to add palm oil. So palm oil, this soup takes a lot of palm oil, like it's vegetable. It takes a lot of palm oil. You can see me shaking the oil, and I put in a lot of palm oil in this soup. Like there has to be enough palm oil in this soup. This soup is such a delicacy. It's so good. Trust me, if you want your husband, your partner, your loved one to just be happy with you all the time, take your time and make this soup for them, and they will love you. They say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Just make this food for your man, and it's going to love you. It's going to love you forever because it's so good, you know. I love to make this soup. It's a lot of work. And guys, if you have watched up to this point, I would really appreciate if you can give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video with your friends, your loved ones. Subscribe to my channel. Before I started doing YouTube, I used to watch videos online, and I didn't know the amount of work that goes into making YouTube video. It's a lot of work. Imagine me cooking, cleaning, recording at the same time. A lot of work goes into making all this video. So the only thing I can ask from you guys is please just subscribe to my channel. It will mean so much to me. So guys, I'm stirring the pot now. You can see like I let it boil for some minutes, and I'm just stirring it from the bottom, like you stir it all the way. You can see my palm oil in the soup. You can see all my protein, the goat meat, the beef tripe, and you know, it's a very delicious delicacy. Trust me, this soup is wicked. It's a very wicked one. It's so good. So now you can see me putting my frozen spinach here. So typically in Nigeria we use water leaf, but here I couldn't get water leaf, so I use frozen spinach, and it comes out so good. You wouldn't even tell the difference. So when I get the frozen spinach, I wash it with cold water and I squeeze out the water and let it the excess water just dry off from it. I just leave it in a sieve, so it's so dry. There's no water in it right now because the leaf on its own, after it cooks, it's still going to produce water. So I make sure that I squeeze the leaf properly and make sure there's no water inside of it. So I'm just going to stir the soup now and combine the own leaves together. So we have two different types of leaves in the soup. We have the Afang leaf. The Igbo people call it okazi. Yes, I know the Igbo people call it okazi leaf. It's the same thing. So if you can get it in your African store, I say you should try this soup. It is so good. It is so yummy. So this is just me stirring my pots. Already I seasoned my meat very well from the starting, so at this point I don't have to add any other seasoning. My meat is flavorful, so that season I add is enough to carry the whole pot of soup. But when making yours, you can test it, and whatever works for you, just taste it to the way, season it to the way you want it to be. This soup goes very well with eba. Eba is just like cassava, grounded cassava. Most Africans know what eba is. So it's just grounded cassava. You use it to eat this soup. The first day this soup is good, but from the second, third day, this soup is wicked. Trust me. So this is my Afangsoup, and the periwinkle is the last thing that goes into the soup. Your Afangsoup is not complete without the periwinkle. Like when I came here and I was able to find periwinkle, I was so happy. I love my periwinkles so much. So this is just me putting in the periwinkle into the soup, and I'm going to stir it properly, like give it that stir. At this point the soup is almost ready. This is the last ingredient I'm going to add in my soup. I'm just going to cover it and let it cook for another couple of minutes, and it is ready. At this point the whole house is my neighbor, I don't too tension them. Like those people, they're tired of me because I'm always giving them hot. So guys, this is our soup, and this is the final result. This is my Afangsoup and my gari, my eba. Like this combination is very wicked. You can see, check out that gari. Look at how the gari is very yellow and it looks very enticing. So guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me if you learned something from this video. Tell me if you're willing to try this soup if you've not tried it already. The way it looks good, that is how good it tastes. Trust me if I tell you so. So guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.